everyone. I'm going over my Malkovich game with Gus. Oh, board is blank. Let's get to where it currently is. So this is the last move that Gus played, and I need to be a little quiet because my brothers are sleeping. So hopefully, when this video goes on YouTube, I'm not too quiet. But yeah, I'll try to speak as loud as I can without waking them up. So Um, F16 was the last move that Gus decided to play, which looks okay. I was thinking he was gonna play this move, uh, but maybe it's not so good for him because uh, maybe I guess he probably thought that this move isn't so good because J16 would end up in an uncomfortable position. So this move uh, is probably better. Though it also gives me it still leaves me with several options. The move that I definitely need to consider and was the first move that I was thinking about is just to Hane here, after which black would extend, then I extend here to threaten to take the corner. He blocks the corner, and then because of the placement of J16, I would need to push down once to separate it from him. After which, I guess there are several possibilities. I need to worry about G17. I have to keep watching G17 at all times to make sure it's fine. Um, if white decides to protect the cut at E16 with a move, or anything I might try on the left side with D14, then it gives me the chance to start attacking J16, and then we'd have a fight going basically. I was probably initially thinking about this move, but even though the general proverb says that uh, you don't want to attach weak stones um, in a fight because usually what ends up happening is they end up becoming stronger. And if it's a situation where you're strong and your opponent's weak and you attach his weak stones, if both sides end up getting stronger, you'll just end up too strong, or as they call it, over concentrated. Whereas, and then his weak group will end up becoming strong, so the end result would be bad for you, or something like that. So, but I mean, okay, it's a proverb. Proverbs aren't always; they're just general rule of thumbs that um, should only just be kept in the back of your mind. Um, but this move also seems good, despite violating the proverb. Because if White decides to move out this way, it's not good for him because it makes him too heavy. But if he wants to Hane to get out, it gives me the opportunity to cut here. And this stone is pretty much dead then. So, I mean, there's still some Aji, but um, from what I've read, I don't think J16 can live after this cut. And I don't want to start talking about the sequences just yet until we end up in this situation. So there's that. But I mean, there's also this move which I also was thinking about, which uh, it looks simpler, and it also makes sense because it also puts pressure on J16 if a bit more indirectly than J15. So um, I think trying to settle quickly by evading the fight with a move such as C17 is a bit insipid. There's no doubt I can end up living in the corners, no problem there. But the thing is that if, excuse me, if white ends up in a strong position here, the placement of L17 uh, would end up becoming questionable because it would be too close to white's group here, and if it ends up being too strong, then it's not really serving its purpose of putting pressure on white's group if it's already strong and settled. So even though I get the corner, it just doesn't feel right. So I want to make sure that we get in a fight such that, or I think it's more preferable to end up in a fight where J16 gets separated because the placement of L17 would work better versus going into the corner, taking territory, but um, having a hard time deciding how to handle L17. So a move like C17 is definitely a move I don't really want to play. Uh, by that logic, I think it's also a bad idea to play elsewhere, keep toying toying around um, with a move like L3 because similarly, I mean, as I explained earlier, if White ends up in a really strong position like this, then the placement of L17 just becomes questionable. The reason I played L17 wasn't just so that if White were to approach here, it would serve as a pincer, but also if White ends up if we end up in a skirmish here, I want this move that I made to uh, help me in the ensuing fight. So I think with this move, it gives me that opportunity. So this is the move I'll be playing, and we'll see what happens from there. All right, thank you.